Moving on to number 13, Notre Dame. So Marcus Freeman, this is his second season as head coach. They were 9-4 last season, which was pretty good, I think, for a tough schedule that Notre Dame, typically plays year in and year out. They finished 18th in the AP poll. I've got them moving up to number 13, considering that they went out and got Sam Hartman, right? Outside of Sam Hartman, there was really not a lot of attrition. They kind of, really just had Marcus Freeman came in and had a good roster in general, right? So he didn't have to do too much really to tweak it. But I'm looking at this roster and it looks like they have let's see, a nickelback transfer, grad transfer, Thomas Harper, who's favored to start, and a defensive end grad transfer, Javante Jean-Baptiste, who's favored to start as well. And then Sam Hartman as a grad transfer as well, who's going to lead the offense at quarterback. And I'm excited to see what he's able to do. He's the best quarterback that Notre Dame has had, I think, in the past 10 years at least, maybe 20. So I'm excited to see what he's able to do. He's got a lot of heart, and he seems like a really good guy. And I think he's going to thrive in this offense. And Marcus Freeman, if you go back and look at his recruiting last season, he brought in a lot of really good players, and he's still recruiting really well. I think losing Brian Kelly was tough for Notre Dame, but they made a smart hire and a smart internal hire so far. Now, is it going to equate to wins on the field? We'll see, to be determined. But I think they do step up from 9-4 last season. I think so. I guess realistically, though, I think that 9-3 is about where they'll end up for the regular season. So I shouldn't say that they'll do better than 9-4. I am pretty high on this team. They certainly could go better than 9-4, depending on what Clemson decides to do this year. But I do have them dropping to USC, Clemson, and Ohio State. It sounds like you're not as high on Clemson, so you may think that they would end up 10-2 with this schedule, but yeah, I have them finishing 9-3 this year, and they're going to win their independent conference, without a doubt. So,
number 10, I've got Notre Dame. You spoke on them, so I'm gonna run through some of the notes that I got for them. But I think Notre Dame takes a step up this year. I don't think they lose the goofy games like they did last year to Marshall and somebody else. Whatever, it was definitely a shock to the senses at the beginning of the year last year, and I feel like they gained some momentum. And by the end of the year, they were playing pretty doggone good. That Notre Dame and South Carolina game at the end of the year was really, really good. So you bring in quarterback Sam Hartman. He comes in from Wake Forest. This is a dude who had 3,700 plus yards last year at Wake Forest. He's an absolute bad A, man. This is the best quarterback that Notre Dame has had that I can remember. I mean, I know there's people, fortunately, older than me watching this, and you probably can remember one from the 90s or something. But, I mean, I can't think of a better quarterback that Notre Dame's had recently. I think that he'll come in and he'll command the offense. All the offensive line guys that are returning, they've been in the system and they've played some. Not all of them have started, but there's nobody just coming off the streets to play offensive line, and I like that because I think that that's pretty important. At running back, Logan Diggs is gone. That Audric Estime returns. He was close to 1,000-yard rusher last year. Chris Tyree also returns. You got a freshman, Jeremiah Love, that comes in and will contribute. And you pick up Devin Ford from Penn State also, who Penn State's kind of, cup that runneth over with running backs. So I could see Devin Ford coming in. So it sounds like they got some pretty good running backs, even though they're losing Logan Diggs. Wide receiver, you got Lorenzo Styles, Braden Lindsey, and Jaden Thomas. They all return, so looking good there. Tight end, obviously, Mara is gone. He was a really really big loss. Obviously, he had 60 receptions last year. So Mitchell Evans will start at tight end. He's not going to be a Michael Mayer. I'll just go ahead and let you know that. But I don't know if you need to rely on the tight end as much. I think your wide receiver room's better. Defensive line, you lose Foskey to the NFL. He had 11 sacks last year. Justin Admiola, I don't remember him, but he's gone. And Jacob Lacey transferred out to Oklahoma, like I said earlier. So defensive line kind of concerns me. That's going to be interesting how they plug and play that, but they wouldn't be the only team in the country with the defensive line that's lacking. That's one of the hardest positions to fill as far as size and talent that I think there is. JD Bertrand and Jack Kaiser are back for senior years at linebacker, so that's very good. You add John Baptiste from Ohio State. If John Baptiste would have stayed at Ohio State, he probably would have been starting. They had a linebacker go down with a season-ending injury the other day at practice. So, but anyway, he's going to start at the edge, and he'll be good. He's a very talented guy. So secondary, Morrison is back after an awesome year last year. He had 6 picks. Clarence Lewis is back for his senior year, and he'll play the other corner position. So with all that being said, I think Notre Dame is set up pretty good to bounce back, and I've got them going 10-2 and got them ranked in the 10th spot this year.